You're banned from Christmas. Idiot. That's what my mom texted me at 8:42 p.m. Well, I could literally hear my entire family laughing in the background. Through the voice note she accidentally attached, I just stared at my phone, reading it over and over again, wondering if this was actually real. Was I really being cut off from my own family over something so stupid? Or was this just the final straw in years of being treated like I didn't belong? So tell me honestly, if your own family humiliated you like that, would you just let it go? Or would you make sure they never forgot it? I guess I should start from the beginning, because this didn't just happen overnight. My name is Danielle, and for as long as I can remember, I've always been the different one in my family. Not in a dramatic way, just not like them. My older brother Hamza was the golden child. Straight A's, cricket team captain, everyone's favorite. My younger sister Ariba was the princess, mom's emotional support, always getting praised for even the smallest things. And then there was me, the one who never tried hard enough, never fit in, always had an attitude. I wasn't a bad kid. I just didn't follow their script. I didn't want to study medicine like my parents wanted. I didn't care about impressing relatives at family gatherings. I liked designing things, editing videos, working online. I actually started making money doing freelance work when I was 19, but instead of being proud, my parents kept saying, "This isn't a real career." That line, I've heard it more times than I can count. Things got worse when I moved out at 22. Not because I had to, but because I wanted to. I needed space. I needed to breathe without constantly feeling like I was failing some invisible test. My mom took it personally. She started telling relatives that I abandoned the family. Hamza would make jokes about how I was too good for us now. Ariba just stopped talking to me altogether unless she needed something. But I still showed up. Every Eid, every birthday, every random dinner invite. I kept trying, even when it felt like I was forcing myself into a place where I wasn't wanted. And every time it was the same story. Subtle comments, passive-aggressive jokes, little digs about my career, my lifestyle, my choices. Then came the Christmas incident. Now, we're not even a Christmas celebrating family in the traditional sense. But over the years, it became an excuse for a big family get-together. Food, gifts, cousins, laughter. It was one of the few times everyone actually came together. This year, I almost didn't go. Something in my gut told me to skip it. But then my mom called me a week before and said, "Everyone will be there. Don't make it awkward by not showing up." So I went. The moment I walked in, I felt it. That weird tension. You know when people have been talking about you before you arrive? That energy was everywhere. My cousins were whispering. My aunt gave me that fake smile. And Hamza just smirked like he knew something I didn't. Dinner started, and at first everything seemed normal. Too normal. And then right in the middle of eating, Hamza suddenly said, "So Danielle, how's your little online hobby going? Still pretending to be busy?" Everyone laughed. Not just a chuckle, like full-on laughter. I tried to brush it off and said, "It's going pretty well, actually." But he didn't stop. "Oh, really? Because last I checked, real jobs come with stability, not random payments from strangers online." Again, laughter. Even my mom smiled. I felt my chest tighten, but I stayed calm. I said, "I earn more than I did at any regular job, so I think I'm good." That's when everything shifted. My uncle leaned in and said, "Money isn't everything. Respect matters too." That hit harder than I expected. And then my own mom, said, "Respect is earned, not by sitting at home on a laptop all day." That's when I lost it. Not screaming, not shouting. Just, I stood up, looked around the table and said, "You all talk about respect, but you've never given me any, not once. No matter what I do, it's never enough for you, so why should I keep showing up?" The room went silent. For a second I thought maybe, just maybe, someone would understand. But instead, Ariba rolled her eyes and said, "Here we go again, the victim speech." That broke something in me. I left, just like that. No goodbye, no drama. I just walked out. About an hour later, I got that text. "You're banned from Christmas." Idiot. Followed by that voice note of them laughing at me. And that's when I realized they weren't just dismissing me. They were enjoying it. Now here's where things get interesting. Because up until that moment, I had always been the one trying to fix things, trying to prove myself, trying to earn their approval. But something changed that night. So let me ask you this. If you were in my position, would you keep chasing people who clearly don't respect you? Or would you finally decide to show them what they lost? Because I made a choice. And I promise you, none of them saw it coming. After that night, I completely cut contact. No calls, no visits, nothing. At first, they didn't even notice. Or maybe they did and just didn't care. But I focused on myself. I doubled down on my work, took bigger projects, learned new skills, started building something real. Within 6 months, my income doubled. Within a year, I launched my own small agency. Meanwhile, my family, same routine, same mindset. Then came the twist. One of my cousins, the same ones who laughed that night, messaged me out of nowhere. He needed help. He wanted me to design a website for his new business. Apparently, he had heard I was doing well now. I won't lie, I laughed. Not out of anger, but out of disbelief. The same people who mocked me now needed me. I agreed, but not for free. I charged him full price. No family discount. He hesitated, but he paid. And then word spread. Suddenly, my phone started blowing up. Aunties asking for help. Cousins wanting advice. Even Hamza reached out, casually saying, "Hey, I've been thinking of starting something online too. Maybe you can guide me." Guide him? The same guy who called my work a hobby? That's when I knew this was my moment. So that's the situation I was in. The people who disrespected me, humiliated me, and literally banned me from the family were now coming back because they needed something from me. Before I tell you what I did next, I want you to pause and really think about it. If you were me, would you help them? Would you forgive everything and move on? Or would you make them feel exactly what you felt that night? Because what I did changed everything. I didn't yell. I didn't argue. I didn't bring up the past. I simply said no. Politely, calmly, firmly. Every single time. When Hamza asked for help, I replied, "I think you should stick to a real job. Online stuff isn't stable, remember?" His silence after that message. Priceless. When my aunt called, I said, "I'm a bit busy with actual work right now," and hung up. When my mom finally messaged me after months, just saying, "You've changed," I replied, "No, I just stopped trying to fit where I wasn't wanted." That hit her hard. I could tell. For the first time in my life, I wasn't chasing their approval. I wasn't begging to be included. I wasn't tolerating disrespect just because they were family. And you know what happened? They started noticing. The same people who ignored me started respecting me. Not because I demanded it, but because I stopped giving them access to me. A few weeks later, my mom called again. This time, her voice was different, softer. She said, "We miss you. Come home." And for the first time, I didn't feel anything. No anger, no sadness, just clarity. I told her, "Home is where you're valued. I hope you understand that someday." And I hung up. That was over a year ago. Since then, things have slowly changed. Some family members apologized. Some didn't, but I stopped needing it. Because the truth is, the best revenge isn't yelling, or fighting, or proving someone wrong. It's building a life so solid, so peaceful, that their opinions don't matter anymore. Looking back, getting that message, "You're banned from Christmas, idiot," was the best thing that ever happened to me. It forced me to finally see the truth. Sometimes the people who are supposed to love you the most are the ones who teach you how to walk away. So yeah, that's my story. If you were on my side, go ahead and like this video. If you think I should have handled it differently, I genuinely want to hear your thoughts, so drop a comment below. And if you enjoy stories like this, real, raw, and a little bit messy, make sure you subscribe. Trust me, I've got a lot more to share. I'll see you all in the next story.